Hi, my name's Todd. I'm a Python developer at PsychoPy, and in this video I'm going to be showing you around the latest release, 2021.2. So for this release, the real kind of big ticket items are that we've added eye tracking in Builder, and we've also added the ability to do audio transcription of audio recordings from the microphone component. So I'll show you around eye tracking first. Now, in order to make eye tracking happen, we've added a whole new type of thing to PsychoPy. So previously we've had routines and components. We now have a new concept called a standalone routine. So if I create a tracker component and go to the insert routine, you can see it now appears here. So standalone routines live directly in the flow panel, just like a routine, but they stand alone. They aren't a container for components, they have their own parameters. So you can see here you can choose the target layout for your calibration, what color the inner and outer circle of the target are, that kind of thing. So we've added two standalone routines, one for calibrating the eye tracker and the other for validating that calibration. As well as standalone routines, we've also added two new components to deal with eye tracking. First, eye tracker record. Super simple. You just specify a time frame or a start and stop condition, same as you would any other component, and that just defines when the eye tracker is and isn't recording data. We also have region of interest component. This is essentially like a polygon in how you set its size, its position, its shape. So if you're used to using the polygon component, that should all be very familiar to you. But what a region of interest lets you do is see when it's being looked at. So if you wanted to count how many times a participant looked at a face in an image, for example, you could do that with an ROI. You can also end the routine based on when it's looked at for a certain amount of time. So if you wanted to end the routine when it was looked at for 0.1 seconds, you could do it like this. So that should make a lot of the most common eye tracking paradigms a lot more simple to run from Builder without any code whatsoever. And as I said, the other big ticket item is transcription of audio responses. So in the microphone component, we've reworked the back end quite substantially. So even if you're not doing transcription, microphone should be a lot more kind of stable and reliable and just generally better. But if you are using transcription, we now have this transcription tab. Within that tab, we have kind of turn it on and off. You can choose which transcriber you want to use. With Google, you will need an API key, but Google generally has kind of higher quality transcription because you get access to all the kind of cloud-based deep learning type stuff. But if you don't have an API key, you can always use the built-in transcriber. You can do things like supply it with words that you're expecting to hear. So if you're in a Stroop task, for example, you might put the names of colors rather than scanning the entire English lexicon. So that should be quite easy to use, and that works both on and offline. And that's really the major features that have been added in this version. There's been loads more various bug fixes, minor quality of life improvements. You can read all about those in the changelog linked in the description. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.